Now, I do want to say to start off with that I've never been in a relationship, and for the foreseeable future, not all that interested in that happening. My attitude is, if it happens, it happens. If not, so what? However, I have learned a fair bit about the whole thing in my time, and as someone who has Aspergers syndrome, there is a lot of pitfalls, a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that have gone wrong, and I've been rejected quite a number of times. I can laugh about it, obviously, because it's in the past. Although, I will say that said, I have liked some girls romantically in the past, and I have had pretty much the most cruelest rejections imaginable, one of which almost drove me to suicide, which is not a very pleasant experience, as you can no doubt imagine. On the positive side of things, though, it's got to be said that I personally believe that people with Asperger's do have a fair bit to offer. It's reasonable to say that no relationship is ever easy, yet people like us do have a lot of good qualities, like loyalty, for example. We do care about others, and most are generally quite honest and truthful, and can be quite nice people. The difficulties arise in the social areas. Obviously, it's people not being on the same wavelength, and believe it or not, this can apply to people with Asperger's as well. I've known and met other people with Asperger's, and oftentimes, you are on completely different wavelengths. I would say that the rule is, if you don't just because you have the same condition, doesn't mean you're going to get this universal understanding, or you're going to even like each other. In fact, you might end up hating each other. That's a fact of life, I'm afraid. I'm not saying that you can't get on. I'm just saying that you can't assume that it's going to be all perfect. Yeah. See, I've been watching this program called The Undateables, and by definition on that program, I could be considered an undateable as such. One of the things I've really noticed about these people, though, is they are incredibly desperate. I've learned about body language and etc. Quite a few things. I'm not the best study as such, but they seem incredibly desperate. They will settle. I mean, they are just happy for anyone that shows them attention. Me, personally, I've got quite high standards. I'm going to go for someone I find attractive and someone that I find desirable, who's got a great personality, someone that I click with. And there's nothing wrong in thinking those things. You see, one of the things I want to point out is that you do need self-confidence. You need to like yourself. And I can say, honestly, sometimes having Asperger's is because you're so self-aware of your condition and how you are around others, you can be very self-conscious, and you can lack in self-esteem. Those things are can be a problem, and obviously, if you lack self-confidence, etc., that can show. Well, the nightmare thing is about relationships is you can make a ton of mistakes, and they are so easy to make. You can appear desperate when you're not even trying to be desperate. And there's about 100 ways, of which I won't even bother going into because there are so many. Like like you might be feeling lonely one day, and you might want to text the girl you like quite a lot. I've had the problem personally where I've found myself getting obsessed with them. I have Now. This is not to say that I haven't been in genuine love. I have been in the past. It's just I would say it's a bit more of a rush. It's because I lack experience and I'm just simply just don't know what I'm doing. So obviously there's going to be a massive amount of room for error. And it's not like I'm doing those things on purpose. It's just simply getting obsessive and being needy at times, probably at times, shows up. And suffice to say, it's difficult. Obviously, looks are something. You see, I do believe that someone has to be quite attractive. It's about making the best of yourself, right? Now, I'm going to be bit brutal. If you find fat people attractive, great, you know. Though on a subconscious level, because of how society has made us grow up and how we perceive things, a person that is clinically obese, shall we say, is considered unattractive because it goes along with unhealthiness. Now, us humans are subconsciously attracted to someone that we find healthy and fit, and we're able to pass on our genes over to. Interestingly, there are other countries where a person that is really fat is actually almost like supermodel status. So that's very true. The reason why I'm saying this, now, if I've offended anybody, sorry, but those are facts, unfortunately. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that you have to make an effort. You do have to make a reasonable effort with how you look. You do have to make the best of yourself, and that's perfectly fine. You know. Obviously, how I would define it is, you see someone that you're attracted to, and once you get to know them, their personality comes through. The more they get to know that person, they become more beautiful, and obviously nobody's going to end up with a supermodel. If they have, great, you know, but will that supermodel have any personality? Probably not. But the point is, a person grows in their beauty, physically and emotionally, when you get to know them and you see them for who they are. That's always been true. So a person that can't, as long as people take good care of themselves, because it is something where you are shown yourselves to make the effort. You know, you're simply saying to someone else, "Hey, I'm willing to make an effort with myself for you." Now, I will stand here and say I'm definitely not the best looking person in the world. I'm not. I wouldn't even consider myself to be classically good looking. There are tons of guys, etc., etc. I mean, my brother is much better looking than me. I will say that hands down. I'm not upset about it, but there is making the effort, and I like to think that I do try it every now and then to make it the effort. On the more positive side of things, yes, there's a chance anybody with Aspergers or autism or whoever they are can get married unless they are really, really bad or something. It's always possible. It's about getting out there and meeting people. For me personally, at this moment in time, yes, I would love it, absolutely love it to happen if I was to meet the girl of my dreams and get married, etc. But I would say I don't go out and mingle with girls that much. I'm not all that bothered about doing that. I kind of enjoy my social life with my friends, etc. So if it's going to happen, great, you know. But I'm not going to allow myself to get upset if it doesn't, because that's one mistake that I did make in my past, and I got depressed. I really went on a downer. Believe you me, the best thing to say is be happy in yourself, and that will do a number of things, like give you self-confidence. And your self-confidence will start to show through as well. And you'll start. So once you start actively trying to improve yourself as a person, yeah, in a positive way, don't think, oh, I'm like this, I like it, I lump it. There are always things that you can work on as a person, yeah, always. I'm not saying change entirely the person you are, because you're you, accept that. But what I'm saying is work on where you can, find areas that you can work on, because we're all growing and improving. In life, you continually grow, you continually improve. Say when you're a person that's 20 to the time that you're 30, you'll have changed in a great deal of many ways. That's a fact of life. So you have to accept that you will change and you'll grow, and that's what makes it so interesting. I'm not a desperate person. I would go, obviously, I've been rejected so much because I go for the best looking girls I see. And yeah, there's going to be a high level of rejection, and that's something. But I can speak, say, for almost all guys, is most guys will go for a woman that they'll find really attractive and hope that she has a nice personality. That's a harsh, that's the truth. Or they get to know that person over time and fall in love with that person. I hope I haven't sounded too shallow or anything like that. But I don't want people to think, oh yeah, I've got Aspergers syndrome and it's never going to happen. To be honest, so what if it doesn't? As long as you're happy within yourself and you learn to live your life, that's a whole lot better. But yeah, it's just enjoy being single. If you really do want it, then you're going to have to put yourself in difficult social situations. You're going to have to learn the difficult social skills that are required, and boy, there's a ton of things that you have to learn. Trust me, I've done a fair bit of research myself into the subject, and still even now putting it into practice is an absolute nightmare, because it's like studying for exams sometimes. But yeah, obviously, if I end up in a relationship, I probably will do another video or something like that, explaining what that's like, just personally. But for now, I want to end with a positive message that, yes, there's always a chance that romance can happen for anybody on the autism spectrum. There's a chance. You do have to put a fair bit of effort in, and I'm sure it's worth it when you're in a relationship. But if it doesn't happen for you, don't get upset. Don't think that it's the end of your life or whatever, because it's really not. There's a lot of things going on in your life, and there are a lot of things that you can do and enjoy. Heck, travel around the world, do something silly like that. You know, there's so much more to life than romance. Anyway, I hope this video helps out others like myself, with Aspergers, and hopefully you'll like and subscribe, bloody blah blah blah. But anyway, take care, ladies.